All right, we're live. Welcome back to the Sam Crescent Art Stream. Welcome Twitch. Welcome Kick. Welcome YouTube and welcome Facebook. We've got Facebook back on the stream after having to miss it this morning. This is Sam Crescent Art Stream. Second stream of the day. Had to take a break, eat some breakfast. Let's get moving. Let's get cracking. We've already done all of our drawing and such. What we are doing now is working on my collectible card game, Zombie Command. Specifically, this card. This is the Suburban Neighborhood. I'm going to color adjust this bad boy first and get it ready for the final printing. And specifically, there's some areas here where there's too much highlights. I just want the main light area of this image to be up here in the front. So I'm gonna mask this, soft brush it, and let's knock it down. So this morning stream got started. What the heck? Stream got started pretty late, and that is because it's this one. That's because Facebook was actually down this morning and I didn't realize it. And I spent a considerable amount of time trying to troubleshoot it and get it up and going, dumping cookies and checking extensions and plugins and looking at what was going on. And then finally I was like, maybe I should just look this up and see if the site's even up. And it was not. So that was the problem. Now, in the morning stream, what we did was a lot of drawing. I worked on my mech gorilla suit and character and all things like that. And now I am back for the next session, and we're working on the Zombie Command collectible card game. We've got city cards. There's 20 of them, and I'm working my way through those. And what I'm going to do is a few things, color hold on all these buildings. Let's just color hold the whole thing. So I just made all that a brown. Now we'll go through and just grab local color and drop it in on stuff. All right, so we're looking pretty good here. Zombie Command. I got to talk about Zombie Command, what I'm working on here. So this is the Suburban Neighborhood, and this is the Suburban House. We got to make it look all cool and gritty. You can see it's got like a destroyed street. Let's color hold all these plants and stuff here, these bushes, the foliage. And we'll get all the dark foliage first. Now, the way this game works is you lay out these cards, these city cards, and that's your game board. And they can go in different orders and stuff, so your game board is essentially different every time you play this. And so the game has a lot of variance to it. And you have different zombies in your deck, and those are cards that you can collect and stuff that I've illustrated. And then your zombies, you deploy them onto the gaming board, and your goal is to take control of the whole city and destroy it with your zombies, take control of all your opponent's zombies, and then destroy the city. And your opponent can be either trying to take control of your zombies or trying to stop you from destroying the city, depending on, you know, how well the game is going for them. And that's pretty much the gist of the game. And there's a lot more into it. There's a lot of play testing, but it's got to be a very simple game. People are like, "Oh, is it like this? Is it like that?" I don't know what it's like, man. It's a game I made up. It's not like anything. I'm not. I mean, there's some game where where you're like a monkey or something and you walk around, destroy a city, rampage. It's not that. It's a collectible card game, strategy game, man, with cities and zombies and post-apocalyptic situations and stuff that's like actually fun and cool. That's pretty much what the gist of this bad boy is. And so that's what we're the heck, man. Flipping switch the brush on me. The heck, dude. I was like, why is those so damn dark there? The hell are those? The freaking heck. This thinking thing. The hell? What kind of BS is this? Alright, let's get back to it. Well, I mean, that's basically black. What the heck? I just want to give that some color here, some variance, some different, you know, I want to integrate these lines into the piece better. This is not about the line art. This is about flipping, looking cool, you know? So that's where we're going with it. Today is Friday, June 12th, 2026. Full summer in full swing. We are full steam ahead, all firing on all cylinders, as they say, and making things happen, wheeling and dealing. And that's what we do around here. Now, when will Zombie Command be complete? Hard to tell. I've got about 5 more city cards that I have to do the final color adjustments on after this one. Okay. We have 2 city cards left to be illustrated that I'm doing a line art on, sending them to my colorist who I trained myself, Alex, and he's doing a good job. He does these initial color lands, and I come in behind him and do additional rendering, cohesiveness, and such as you're seeing now. And that's why I'm working with a colorist, though. My colorist I trained is, and I need to start training him again. Like, I used to meet with him once a week and critique his coloring and show him how to do it better. And he really improved. And then we stopped doing it because the level of responsibility that I carry, I wasn't able to keep up. But I need to get back with him and go over his coloring again, critique it, show him how he can improve it so that he continues to develop his abilities and we continue to level up the coloring on these projects. Needless to say, having a colorist color stuff is very helpful. Now, trying to figure out what the hell that is. Okay, something on the flats. Fill that in. All right, that's maybe better. Okay, so once we have achieved all the strategy cards are completed, all the zombie cards are completed. Okay. Once we have achieved all of the background cards, which have been the most work, once we've achieved the background cards, we got to start some serious playtesting. We've been doing playtesting, but we have limited cards, filling in holder cards and such. we're gonna start doing some serious playtesting. Probably have to playtest for about 2 to 3 months, depending on how well it comes together. It could come together very quickly, and the playtesting phase will go through without a hitch, and then we'll be right to market with this bad boy. Designing the box, I'll have to design the box, taking it to press, getting all the cards printed up, and I'm gonna do a soft launch. There's no Kickstarters, no crowdfunder for Zombie Command. I'm just going from here straight to market. I'm gonna have it at the conventions. I'm gonna have it online for sale. I'm gonna just go straight out the gate, straight up. Not gonna deal with the crowdfunding and all that for Zombie Command. I'm doing a crowdfunding. I'm gonna be doing the crowdfunding on the new Strength Monsters comic, not the old ones, the new ones. And that will be next year. This year, my goal is just to relaunch all the old books with the animated feature, with the website, get that stuff out and going. That's the goal for this year. Next year, Strength Monsters crowdfunding. I need crowdfunding help with the comic book. So the collectible card game, I can handle it as much less labor than a comic book in many respects. Now, I don't know. I actually did a lot of drawing on this, but a lot of these drawings were taken from the comic book. So this was a project that spawned itself out of the Strength Monsters comic because I created so many zombies and Strength Monsters, and I had an idea to make a zombie game out of all my zombies because I had so many good ones. So that is more or less how this came into fruition, whatever you say, and that's how it came to be. Zombie Command. I plan on doing more. I want to do a primal game about apes and monkeys, and that's the next collectible card game I'm going to do, but I can't do it until I finish with this one. And then on this one, there's still going to be maintenance. There's still going to be like each year, I'd like to drop like an expansion pack so you have the choice to add additional zombies to your deck. You can expand your city with different cards. You can expand into more subterranean layers, realms, underground things, subway systems, all manner of stuff, vehicles. You know, it'll continue to grow into a really amazing thing if I can keep it going. Maybe at some point I'm gonna have to let go of Zombie Command and hire a crew of artists to create new assets for it, like they do in Magic the Gathering and stuff. But my game is much better than Magic the Gathering because it's much more easy to play. It doesn't have all these complex rules and stuff that are difficult to even like get a grasp of. This game is it's a much better game than Magic, and I don't even understand Magic, to be honest. It doesn't even make any sense, but the cards look cool. I'll tell you, I'll give them that for sure. Magic the Gathering has some of the coolest cards in the biz. I did get gaslighted by a woman at a convention once, though, concerning Magic the Gathering, and it was basically another woman came up to my booth and asked me if I was familiar with Ralph Bakshi's, I think it's, what's it called, Wind and Fire or something like that. What's the name of that cartoon he did with like Tigra and stuff? Tigra, Ralph Bakshi, Fire and Ice. Yes, Fire and Ice. Like, as an old school cartoon, yes, I've seen Fire and Ice. I'm very familiar with it. Very familiar with all of Bakshi's animation work and such. Very much like his Lord of the Rings and Hobbit and everything that he did. And back in the day, that was all we had, man. I mean, when I was young, if you wanted to watch Lord of the Rings stuff, you were pretty much constricted to watching the Ralph Bakshi stuff. And honestly, wasn't that bad. I very much enjoyed it. It has interesting like live action sequences with like filters on it that I didn't understand when I was young, that's what that was looking at. I thought it was like, wow, this is really realistic. This animation's like super realistic. Now I know that parts of it were not even animated. It was just like live action film where they just put a high contrast like color on there and saturated the colors and made it look like animation. I thought it looked freaking cool. I'd like to see a whole movie done like that, actually. Maybe I'll do it, because it would be cool if they just did the whole movie that way. Now, some of it was drawn, and another interesting thing I learned later was that there's no ground shadows in Lord of the Rings from Banshees, because they didn't have the budget, so he just didn't put any ground shadows or anything on the characters. There's no shadows on the characters or anything. Never noticed it till it was pointed out to me. So actually, you know what I'm gonna do? See how all these panes are like just perfect lines? We want to like knock some of them down like that, so that they're not all perfect, because in real life you don't see lines like this on buildings and stuff. It's not perfectly like this. You'll see fragments of things, and that's the way it goes. Now, the fire and ice thing, the girl who was asking me if I seen it, I could tell it's something she liked, and she's something she knew that I would know of, you know, and she's just like a nice person that liked my work, and just wanted to, I think he just was kind of like, hey, I know about something that you like. I'm cool, like we're cool, we're like the same kind of stuff. It was kind of like that, you know. And I'm like, oh yeah, fire and ice, you know, that's really cool, because Frank Frazetta did a lot of the concept work for it. Ralph Bakshi was a fan of Frazetta's art back then, and it is all famously known. And he hired Frazetta, and Frazetta designed like a lot of the characters. He designed the characters, and you know, put together a lot of work for it. It was really cool. And I told that there was another woman next to her that was looking at my stuff, and she's like, "Oh yeah, Frank Frazetta, I know about him." I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Didn't he do some Magic the Gathering cards? Didn't he do Magic the Gathering?" I was like, "No, he never did Magic the Gathering. He was way before Magic the Gathering." Frank Frazetta is like, he's like considered like, you know, the godfather, one of the pioneers of fantasy art, you know. And she instantaneously whipped out her phone and pulled up her AI, and is like, "Did Frank Frazetta draw Magic the Gathering, do Magic the Gathering cards?" And then she's like, "Actually, he did do Magic the Gathering. Says right here. I even have some of those cards. I wonder what they're worth," you know, and all this stuff. And I'm like, all right, hold on a minute. You know, I didn't say anything. I just let her go. Like, she can have that win. I don't really care. I'm not at conventions to argue with people about things, even though I was getting gaslit by this person. I'm like, gaslighting me now? But yeah, so I looked it up later, and the situation is that Magic the Gathering licensed previously existing Frank Frazetta art from his estate long after he was dead, and made cards out of them. So does that constitute that Frank Frazetta did cards for Magic the Gathering? I would say no. That's not, he did not do it for them. He did it for Frank Frazetta, or for some other job that he kept the rights to those pieces of art for, that his estate was able to then license them out after he died. That is completely freaking different, in my opinion, than doing work for like Magic the Gathering. But I digress. It doesn't matter to me, really. No, but you know, when you get gaslit by somebody, you're always kind of like, man, you're trying to tell me that you're right, or that this is, you know, the way things are, and it's not. Like, when you know you're right, and you have to listen to people tell you that you're wrong, even though you know that they're not right. It's very difficult to do sometimes, but you know, you just do it, because you're not going to shows. You're going to shows to make money, to sell your work. You're not going there to try to be, you know, right about something you already know you're right on. So that's kind of the whole situation with the whole gaslighting of the Frank Frazetta stuff. It's kind of not even that big of a deal to me. I'm just mainly recounting the account because it gives me something to discuss while I'm adjusting the colors on this piece. I think we did enough for these buildings. Maybe let's see. I think these buildings are good. Let's go and meticulate on this a little more. I got to get the front lawn. I mean, the street, the destroyed street, which is the coolest part of this whole thing. Got to get to there. Got to get to the street. This is all just stuff that you have to do. Okay, so let's get the sidewalk in. Let's select the dark gray. Now, I was working on the airbrushed hats yesterday, and I'm going to try to set some time up to do a live stream, a traditional live stream. I'm going to try and get the traditional live stream up, and I think I'm going to just have to approach the traditional stream the same way I approach the digital stream. So I got the digital stream going by just saying, okay, one platform at a time. Let's just get, I started with Twitch. Let's get Twitch going. I'm just going to live stream on Twitch every day for a week. Then I'll try to add Kick. And that's what I did. Now I'm up to 4 platforms. Now I've been intending to add TikTok, and I haven't. I gotta just, I'll try to see if I can get that going. Like, I need to just set aside like 30, 40 minutes. Set aside 40 minutes and see if I can get my TikTok live working. It's not as easy as just like pressing a button there. There's a whole app you have to download. You have to log into it. I've been unable to log into it. Keep saying my password is wrong. I haven't wanted to go through the process of figuring out why it thinks my password is wrong when probably is not, but maybe it is. I don't know, but I can get it worked out, but I got to make the time to just go through the steps. Getting back to this, what I was discussing before is the traditional art stream. I think I'm going to just try and set it up, and I'm going to see if I can just go live on, see if we can just go live on Twitch, and just get Twitch like up and going, and see if we can do some Twitch lives with the traditional art live stream. And then I'll start adding on the other platforms. The traditional art stream entails me setting up on the laptop, which is a totally different computer. This is a Mac. My laptop is not a Mac, which is, it's fine. It's a like a Windows computer. It's fine. I can use both computers equally just fine. They don't baffle me. But I got to set up on that. I've got to use a webcam, which I do have a webcam. Not just a built-in cam. You've got to be able to put the cam over the top of your work so you can look down and see what you're doing. So it's going to entail connecting the webcam, setting it up, testing it, making sure that we have a good view of the art. The webcam is more or less going to stay in place, and I have to kind of make sure that I keep the artwork in view. You know, so there's a few components that go into it. It's not just as simple as like, yeah, just go live. I mean, we could just wing it. You know, we can do it, but you know, I got to work it all out. But I think the traditional art stream would be useful when I go on Twitch. Majority of the live streams I've seen are anime type stuff. And some of it looks good, some of it does not. A lot of it looks homogenized. What is that? Homogeny, when everything's the same. Is that a correct word? Am I thinking of the right word for what that is? I don't quite know. But it's kind of like that. And there are some, I have seen some traditional art streamers on the Twitch and stuff. They are out there. They were doing some stuff that looked pretty cool. But there's not nearly as many of them. So, and I am very keen in the traditional realm of traditional art. And so I think I'm gonna get that traditional art stream going up pretty soon here. Maybe I'll even work on it a little today. Now, what else is on the docket today is we've got to reprint my my Franken Hulk shirts, which is a shirt I don't sell online. It's exclusive to the shows. And it is sold out in a number of sizes. We registered the screens yesterday, and we're ready to go. And I say we because my son, who's 18 years old and just graduated from high school, he's working for me full time this summer till he starts college. He's going to be wrestling in college starting in the fall. And I'm supposed to be wrestling with him every day to help him prepare, because I'm better at wrestling than he is, even though he's very good. To help him prepare for college. But the problem is he injured his foot at the beach, and basically some rocks or something got dragged over it, and cut it all up, and then the cuts got infected. Now they're on the mend. He's almost healed. He'll be probably just good to go next week. But we don't want to rush it, get him on the match right away, and then get his foot. I think it is scabbed over at this point, so that's a good thing that it is scabbed over. Okay, that's why that's not diminishing. Like, what the heck? Why won't that diminish? So I don't want that dark. Okay. Mother trucker. All right, that's it. That's all we can do. Okay. So I think we're pretty much there. Let's get the rim of this trash can maybe a little bit lighter here. Because the light's on it, you got to be thinking about your light sources, man, when you do this stuff. Okay, so this is going to be pretty simple because I think we pretty well adjusted it. So the process, once I'm done with that, is drop some noise on this, drop some texture on it. I don't like these trees the way they're got all this outliney stuff on them. I don't know what the freaking hell that's all about. So what I'm talking about is, let's see if we can find it. Okay, so you see how we kind of have that. Let's turn all this off, and we can just diminish that down. So we'll just take this black, that green, select this here. Now I got to go to my soft brush here, and we want to at least make sure that these highlights are darker than those. Like, see, that highlight it looks as light as that one. And it may not be, because it could be the fact that everything around this highlight is darker, and therefore that highlight looks as light as that one. But in reality, there's no way this right here can be as light as that. It cannot happen. And if it does, you're destroying the illusion of your work. So see, now there's absolutely no way that that's lighter down there. That's what we want. I'm going to do the same thing over on this bad boy. Okay. Just make sure that we have some logic worked into what we're doing. Now, when I fill the noise on this, it's going to kind of meld things together. It's going to make it look even better than what we're dealing with right now. And let's grab a noise layer. Let's just open a recent. We can open the strip mall up. That had a noise layer on it. Let's grab that noise. Click all copy. I'm going to drop it right on top of the suburban neighborhood. I've been doing this every day for quite a while. We're going to put it all the way to the top. We're going to switch to blend mode to overlay, and then we knock it down to 25-30%. Opacity, 27's been working nicely for me. We'll go with 27 or 26, somewhere around there. Let's see, 26. That looks pretty cool now. So already this looks a lot less fake, like less shiny. When you take this off, everything's like too shiny and perfect. It looks too computer. I don't like that look. I like a little more grit. Now we're going to drop in some textures, and I'm not going to use the same textures I did yesterday. I need to pull up some new textures, try and keep the textures different at all times, so that there's more interest in this. So we're going to go to my where my textures are living currently, which is in this folder here. And I've been using these machine shop textures. Maybe I'll use an overlay for this one instead of a texture. Let me see what different overlays I have. Not that one. That one is interesting, but it's wrong. That's a really weird one. I don't know if the overlays have been working too well, to tell you the truth. I don't think they really have. But let's try this one, see what it does. So we'll go open with Photoshop 2026. So you got this overlay here. Let's select all, copy it, and we'll just put it right underneath our noise and drop it in. Now we can set it here to wait, I'm on the wrong thing. That's strip mall. Close that. Don't save. We're doing suburban neighborhood. I'm gonna drop it in right here. Boom. Let's just select the blend mode, and then we can mess with more parts of it. Multiply, color burn, overlay. Kind of brightens everything a lot, but we're gonna knock down the opacity, so it doesn't really matter. This hard light's kind of interesting too. I don't know which one. Okay, so definitely not darken, definitely not multiply. Color burn, no. Linear, no. Darker color, no. Lighten could be interesting when we knock the opacity down. What does it do? Nothing. It just makes it look all cloudy. Okay, we're not doing lighten. Screen, no. Color dodge, linear, lighter color. Overlay is the only one that seems to really be working too well. I feel like this doesn't really do any good, to be honest. It just doesn't. So I'm going to delete this off. We're not going to use that. Let's go with a texture, like just a crazy texture. This one could be okay. Just looking for something interesting. We'll go with these two, see what they look like. Open with Photoshop. And I'm going to have to basically just get my brushes and stuff. Let's close this machine shop thing. Okay. We don't want this. I've got to select all, copy. You. We got to pull off the copy. All right, we got to pull off the white background so we can effectively and efficiently change the color. So select all, copy, make a mask, hold down option, paste in, invert, make sure our thing's good. Go here, shift F5 to fill it with black. Turn off the background, it's gone. Layer mask, apply, and we now have something here. Let's select all, copy. Let's drop it down on our thing. Okay, this one we got to resize it. We can rotate it here, it didn't matter. All right, so we got that. Let's give it a color. So we'll alpha lock this bitch, and let's see here. We've got a blue kind of theme going, so got to turn off the noise though. It's interfering. We'll go with this here. There. Okay. Now let's hit blend mode. We'll try multiply first. And that's kind of what you end up with. I don't like it, so let's do this. Let's it's just overkill. So what I'm gonna do is let's invert this. Now the white is black and the black is nothing. That's not gonna work. Not gonna invert that. Let's just delete that. This one could work pretty good. Kind of thinking this is more appropriate anyway, so let's try this one. Yeah, that's fine. Shift F5 so we fill the layer with black. Layer mask. Apply. And let's go to here and put that bad boy on. That's way better. Even that's kind of cool. Now let's alpha lock this bitch. And I don't know why I'm saying the word bitch all of a sudden. I usually don't. Apologize if that is an offensive word to you. I apologize for absolutely nothing. Uh, I think that looks great there. Now let's just move this thing around a little bit and see what we got. Like, you know, see what we can do with this thing. It's kind of cool there. Thinking that for this is what we're gonna do. I know how I'm gonna handle it now. I know exactly how I'm gonna handle it. That's perfect. Let's get this to the right opacity. Right about there's good. And then we're gonna erase this off the house completely. So none of this layer is gonna be on the house. House. Unlock it. House is no. So none of this on the house, on any of the houses. There we go. I took it off the house. We'll allow it to stay all the other places. Now let's diminish it a little bit on the foliage on the yard. It does look good on this yard though. We diminish it a little bit. We'll put the noise on, and then we got a better idea of what we're dealing with here. Let's diminish it down on the sky just so ever slightly. But see how much better it looks. See how much better all these rocks look and the cement looks. Now, is it on that driveway? It is. We still have some areas here that we need to just not have this. And I mean, I could just hit my flats layer and just start selecting stuff, you know, selecting this whole house areas and everything. And just select and select some more. And that's going to help us make sure that we get it off the buildings and such, because we're going to do something else. That's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know. There we go. Okay, so now we don't have it on there. Tweak this on and off. It looks pretty cool. Let's move on. So now I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that other layer that I vetoed, copy that back. Let's go back to suburban neighborhood. Let's throw that bad boy down. We're gonna resize it so that it's small. That. Let's hit a color. See what it looks like if we hit like a, turn off the noise, man. Something like that, maybe. Alpha lock that. Here, we'll hit a multiply on there again. And let's go Command U, and then we can kind of adjust it till we see the color that like we like. I kind of like the idea of maybe a red. We could saturate it up a little bit if we want. Not going to do that. It's not what we want. Let's turn the piece more green. It's more purple. It's really purple. Let's maybe there. Yeah. Let's go in this kind of red area. To do that, let's turn the opacity way down. About there. That looks pretty good there. Now what we're gonna do is delete it off. The sky, the trees. Whoops. No, you no get to be here. Okay, that's the way you talk to toddlers. What's going on the rest of the day though is I gotta go get my son up, and pretty much the routine I have him on is we're gonna print those shirts, but he's on a routine. He has to work his Python programming for an hour first. The reason why I'm having him do that is because we're heavy into valuations here in my household. I invest in stocks in businesses. I am a Benjamin Graham style value investor for the most part. I do things a little differently than classic Graham. If you understand Benjamin Graham style investing, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. But more or less, value investor valuations are the name of the game, and I have several valuations I do, and I do my valuations the same every time. Needless to say, long story short, he's going to be building a bunch of bots for me that will do the valuations for us. So we just type in the ticker, it'll scrape the information off the balance sheet and do. Oh my gosh, that's why that looks so weird. Did I just do that all on the wrong layers? I did, I think. All right, let's fix all this here. All right, let's just like select off what we don't want. You know what I'm gonna do is this kind of looks cool. I think I'm just gonna just erase it back. Now, getting back to what I was talking about, so I want the bots. I want them built out in Python, because then we can just, and we want to do it ourselves, so we know that the valuations are being done correctly, the right data, and everything like that. And that's why he's learning Python, so we can do it. And Python's a pretty good language for building a simple program like that can just, you type in the stock ticker, and then it'll run Benjamin Graham's intrinsic valuation on it. And then you type in the stock ticker, and it'll run our specific DCF, which is a discounted cash flow model. It'll run that with our specific parameters that we want put in place when we run that valuation. That's what that's why he's learning that. Plus, he wants to learn all the investment stuff, and it's going to help him learn it by building out these different tools that will be implementing. And people are like, well, why don't you just use AI? Because AI's flipping wrong. That's why. Every time, like I'm not gonna trust that thing. It's the next best guess. I'm not gonna trust it to next best guess my valuation. And now it can help you build out. The program, the model, the bot that's going to do the valuation, whatever you call it, can help you build that out. But you still got to know the structure and the framework of how the language works if you're going to do that effectively. That's my opinion on it. So that's why he's doing that. And he's dabbled in Python in the past. I made him do it as a kid. I was like, if you're going to play video games, you're going to have to code, you're going to have to program, you're going to have to learn how to build video games. I have another son that does C#, and he's really good. He goes to a place, he's been going for like years, and he's built like numerous games. He uses the Unity engine, and he codes in C#, and he like builds these things out, first person shooters, platformers, all kinds of stuff. And but my other son, he got a girlfriend, and then he wasn't interested in playing video games as much and all this kind of stuff. So, but now that he's working for me, I'm like, all right, this is part of your job. You're going to learn how to do this. And that'll benefit him in the long run anyway, regardless of what he decides to do. I'm thinking this is done. I mean, any further work, I don't know that's really helping it. The only problem is we want to have a definitive light source, light area. Maybe I'll just do this. I'll go with a color dodge. Let's turn off our noise. Let's just select a light color from here. That's a good one. Brush it. Soft brush. Make it big. 20%. That's cool. That way, I just did that hit, so it's like, okay, this area here is the coolest, most interesting area. So I lit it up a little bit more. When we print it out, we want these things to have some contrast to them. I think that's going to be it for this one. Let's save that one, and I'll print it out for the prototype so that we can play test with it. after the stream's over. Okay, this bad boy, let's close it down. Don't save this bad boy. Let's close it down. I actually probably should save them. Like next time I'll save it because I keep separating off the white on those over and over again. It's driving me crazy. All right, we got 2 pages here to format, and we got this one to work on. This monkey one. We've been working on this one forever, but we finished these first 2 panels, and let's get these panels going. So what are we gonna do? We'll do this is the fun stuff. The formatting is the boring stuff, man. Let's do the fun stuff. Might as well, and we could wrap up the stream. So what I'm gonna do here is let's turn off this monkeys here. Let's select this background right here. We want this, and let's copy merged, edit, copy merged, and then we're gonna just drop it in up here. I don't know. I'm just go to the very top and I'm gonna paste it in. Okay, so we got that background there. Now we got to figure out where this guy is. And where is he? He appears to be somewhere around here. Where's his? Okay, there's his line art. So we know his line art's there and all his renderings underneath that. Let's hit this guy with a color hold right out the get-go. All right, so there. He needs more work, but we'll deal with that later. Go down here, and let's move this bad boy down right there. Turn it on. And let's see here. And this is it. All I wanted to do is just recycle this background. Now we're gonna have to move his flat layer up above this. Or we can move it below the flat layer. Let's adjust this slightly. So we can zoom in a little bit, and boom, that's essentially where we're at with it. So that's perfect right there. Now, let's see what happens if I put it behind here. Okay, so let's go to this flat layer. Turn all this stuff off. And what we want to do is just delete off this. Boom. Okay. Now, throw all this back on there. And we've got a almost finished panel. Not quite, but it's getting there. These panel borders, I haven't decided what to do about them yet. Don't really want them, to tell you the truth. So let's just lasso these bad boys here and put them on a different layer. That'll get them out of our way, out of our hair. And then turn that off. I'm gonna delete these. All right, so we don't have that to deal with. Now, turn these back on, and let's just mask this bad boy out. So here. 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 Now I started doing some airbrushing yesterday. And I'm gonna do some more today when I'm done printing. And I hope to get to that soon. I'm gonna have to go take a break though. My son is supposed to be up and already doing his Python, and I don't think he's doing that. So I'm gonna have to go get on his ass and be like, hey you, what are you doing? Okay, now what I think I'm gonna do is for this one, maybe we do go here. Hit that with that. Okay. Yes. And that might be all I have to do about this. I could give this a panel border right here. Let me just turn that off. I've made a decision to not have panel borders in this comic, and I very much like that look. No, that's spilled over from somewhere. Where? Does it matter? No, it's being covered. Okay. So we just put a bigger gutter here. It does look better. And then let's take this one off here. And that looks way better. And then we don't even need that at all. That's the way that's going to go. That's pretty cool. I like it. All right, so now for this panel here, all we got to do is finish these color holds here. So this guy was where? He's in group 1. Okay, dark green, hard brush. And let's get that in there. There we go. Now let's, I color holded the living daylights out of this. I thought I did. Yeah, we want to get this much lighter here. It can be darker on that side, and then these ones are going to be even lighter. That. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. So airbrushing. How did the airbrushing go? That's one of the things I would like to live do traditional lives on. And I could do it. Gotta just do it. Gotta do it. So I'm gonna try to, if I can get everything printed by like 2 o'clock, I can hit that traditional live, and we can do some airbrushing and stuff. I'm not a great airbrusher, but you got to start someplace, and if I practice every day, I'll get back. I was airbrushing all weekend a few months back, and I'm starting to really get good, and then I waiting for equipment to show up and dealing with all this stuff, not getting done, and one thing after the next, supposed to get a big shipment from Coast Airbrush the other day, and they're way late on it. And now they've created a label, so that's good. But I have not received the UPS hasn't received it yet. So you're kind of waiting there. Oh, I did get a sale on eBay yesterday. not art, an old toy, and so I got to get that out today. So I'll get that done, and then and then I'm gonna pack everything for Connect and see maybe I can go down there tomorrow and just restock some stuff. I don't know, man. It's been crazy, but I need to get in there and restock and get the cash flow, keep the cash flow going. I don't know if that's the color. I'm gonna have to take a break in a minute and go to the bathroom. And unfortunately, I don't have a on a break thing, but I don't want to cut the stream. So I'm just gonna go to the bathroom and then I'll be back when I'm done. This all needs work, but it's okay. We're gonna get this monkey done here. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then I'm gonna work through this monkey right here, finish him up, get him integrated so he looks like those guys. And then if we got time, I'll do some. All we got to do is just throw some texture up back here, turn that into grass, and get this thing done here. And we're gonna be there very soon. And then tomorrow I'll lock in that last panel, and we'll have another page ready for print on Strength Monsters and Monkey Business, which this book has not been released yet. This is the one that I'm gonna try and kickstart next year. I'll be back.
Alien, can you make sure you clean up any mess that you have made in the living room?
There's the iPad ready for it. All right, I'm back from the bathroom break. That was a much needed excursion that I had to make to the restroom. But I'm here now and I feel refreshed and ready to do some stuff here again. Let's see here, any new comments or anything? The answer is no, no new comments. All right. All right, so what we're going to do is finish off this baby monkey. Very simple to do this. Let's just knock everything down here and figure out what we are dealing with here. This is, I like usually keep stuff way better. I'm not even gonna do that. This is gonna take forever. I usually keep this stuff way better organized. But these pages, I was not setting them up in a as disciplined manner. This is a page that was done years ago, actually, and I'm now finally gotten to it. So let's just do texture, screen texture, darken, hard light, dark gradient. Go with that one first. We'll just grab color here on him. Show a little bit there. Hit with a brush. let's get the like a scatter brush here, something like that. We need to select this guy here. And let's just pull some of this texture through him. It's the wrong color. We need to go a little bit more brown, a little darker. But he's a little bit like, looks like he's glowing too much, so I'm going to fix that in a minute. It's not bad right there. I kind of like that. I can heat the soft brush there, so there's a little bit of gradation. And let's see where all this glow stuff is. Right here, man. What the heck, dude? All right, let's just erase it down a little bit. There we go. Not popping out so hard. Okay. I'm just gonna make a layer here. Set to multiply. So and let's just give this guy some. We'll knock this down, but we're gonna give this bad boy some what the hell, dude? What is, like, why would that be all lit up, man? This is the kind of stuff that pisses me off. Also, he's gonna need you know, he would have a shadow on the tree. So let's get that going. Oh, what the heck, man? This motherfucking thing. Sons of motherless goats. I mean, I might as well render out this stuff. That's looking pretty good there. Now we're just gonna knock it down with the brush here. That's really pissing me off. I'm gonna have to fix that. Some of the shadows are still not quite that great. Let's fix the thing that's making me so angry. Which I don't know where the hell it is. Like, what? Why is there a freaking highlight on his diaper, man? Gosh, it makes me mad. There we go. Holy hell. Couldn't find it. It was pissing me off. The effect. I'll tell you what the effect is. It's pissing me off. Redoing this. All right, that's a little better. Big ground shadows there. All right, let's wipe this down a little bit here. That's pretty good, I'd say. Now I'm gonna go even lighter with this. And then might as well hit everything that's facing up towards the light. In the light. Might as well just hit that with a lighter brush. And something. Would be in shadow. All right. What is going on with this? Oh. I wanted to hit that thing like a little bit more darkness, and freaking thing is just kind of whatever. Oh yeah, I'll take it. Ah, it's not the greatest. There. Now it's like really dark, so let's go with well, it's not gonna work. Freaking hell. But I can just keep color adjusting this thing till I'm blue in the face. And maybe I should. I think I'm just gonna have to be happy with that and leave it. This layer. Okay, I'm gonna have to get some grass on here. I don't know what the hell is what here. A big part of that was this. I'm gonna keep my layers better organized in the future because this has been nothing short of a major hassle. Still didn't look quite right. Quite right, but that's all, folks.
Weird stuff here. Let's see. What is this weirdness? Some reason that doesn't go. Let's cover all that correctly. And then let's get some of this in here. All right, let's turn everything back on. And I just need to do my thing on this. So we need some big chunkiness, some big chunky texture back here. So select some kind of a chunked out brush. I don't know what these do. Like, I don't think this does anything. Let's see what's in here. Let's see what this is. Oh yeah, I've seen this. It's kind of cool. You can put a little bit of that here and there, but this is not going to be everything. All right, go with that. Sure. Let's go with color change. Do that. Let's find some other kind of brush that we can just texturize this back, make it look like there's foliage going, and I'm not going to render in the whole background. It's not that important. Something like this would be cool. Analog ink. Yeah, there we go. Let's just mash some of that in. And then we'll use our eraser tool and kind of dial it in. This one's same. And all right, that's looking pretty sexy. What else can we do? All right, let's get a different color. If I go to an orange, it'll come out yellow. Whoops. Let's change our brush up. Try this one, see what it does. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. Now we'll just kind of dial it down there. I think that's about all we need, to tell you the truth. Like, I don't think we need much more. But now we got to delineate foreground and background. Right now they look the same. Probably an easy way to do that. Let's try this first. Let's say, whoops. Say we select that and we Command U it. And we just does nothing. Let's say we select this stuff. And we Command U this. Not what we want. So that is kind of neat. That does give it the feeling that there's bushes and stuff there. Maybe I just give a texture to that somewhere, like a pre-made one. I'm going to stay with that. We'll fix it up here. Let's see here. So I'm just gonna like get rid of these hard edges there. And there. Okay. What I think we just got to color adjust up here maybe. Let's see what's covering the most of this thing. All right, let's just select it. And I'm just going to make a new multiply layer here. Trying to delineate this from that, but it's not really working. There we go. We gotta have it a different color. There we go. See, if we kind of just go with a brown color there, now we have a separation between this foreground and background. Let's just switch our line art. Yeah. I'll write it down for you. Don't lose this notepad because it's got important notes in it about LumaWar. All right. A couple of things here. This thing's going to be casting a shadow. And this thing's going to have to be all textured up as well. That's kind of okay. What would happen if I just do this? This is not working, man. feel like I'm gonna just take this line art out. It's not helping anything. That looks better. Just let it be like that. Now we just have to texture up the bra. On both of them. Why is there a bra stuck to this guy? Well, you have to read the comic book to find it out. You have to read the comic book to find it out. I'm not going to explain it right now. Oh.
No. Not at all. I think we both went fishing for a little bit, and then I got off. What do you mean?
Really just wanted to do this to put a little bit of noise on this thing so it looks a little bit
I thought he was doing fine.
you know, it looks a little bit cooler and less lame. I need to fix that too.
So many achievements. Oh yeah, right. I don't think we can. What? Um. Oh. Ah.
Something like that going a little bit more.
Okay.
Dude, I gotta just make another layer here.
I'm gonna join. Alright.
It's like a what the hell, man? No wonder I'm like, why is this brush not that soft? Dude, I'm going making me crazy. Like not blending the way I normally have these brushes blend. There we go.
Yeah. I don't need to make till 20 time. Funky Tom.
All right, we're almost here. We're almost here. There's still like this. We got to do something with. I'm gonna leave that for now. It's good enough. But this plant here. Do some reinforcing on it. And blend this sucker down.
Alright, let's down that one and brief it.
And then let's add some texture on this bad boy. I'm going to texture those just for the hell of it because they don't have anything.
These are one room. Yeah. First floor. Wait, how am I? We're not even in this. Maybe. I lost my mouth.
That's pretty cool looking, actually. Just going to leave it as that. If I wanted to do more, though, we would do this.
Because now I'm in again. It's the same one.
And we are going to do it. Let's cast the shadows this way, so we're going to go. What I'm going to do is just cast a shadow off this thing. Onto whatever's behind here.
This. Alright.
I don't like it. Try it this way. Gotta drop it off further.
This guy's armor on? He's gonna kill me. I do 3 damage to him. I just did 18 now.
There we go. Now it looks more like it's getting cast back onto something here. You know what I mean? Right there. There we go. And then this light source is completely whack, but I'm not gonna mess with it. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be right now. That'll work just fine. Because there's even more we could do. I mean, like, technically, if the plant is casting shadow up onto the thing behind it, we could say that would be as well. I'll just leave it. Like, is this great? No. It's not perfect. There's a lot of things that bother me about this panel. Basically, a lot of things bother me about this whole page, but it's looking okay. I can live with this. And I'm going to wheel and deal with this one. And it'll be fine. Now, I do need to just kind of mask off some stuff here.
I was gonna hell them. That'll be easier.
Why is that not gone? Where is that?
Why do I have gold on me?
Hiding from me. There we go. All right. Tomorrow we will finish this panel here. This is the best panel on the thing anyway. This is like the payoff, really. This is just pacing, storytelling, and then we get to the nitty gritty of it.
Portraits.
All right, that's done for the day. Let's shut that one down.
Really? So you collect taxes?
Say my frame rate's too low on
How do you get me to the floor?
Facebook. I wonder if there's any kind of situation any of the other streams. All right, all I got to do now is just format for print.
Wow, you have a machine. Oh,
So this is my old comic book, Strength Monsters and Ultra Mayhem. And I'm going to do the final. These ones are easy to adjust because I colored these myself from scratch. So I knew exactly what I was doing here. Copy that bad boy. Let's make our characters pop. So what I'm going to do is select the foreground characters here.
You have a giant bull.
The dinosaur. This is a badass looking dinosaur, man. I'm very happy with the way this turned out. There's a lot of things in this one that I'm proud of. There's still things in this one that bother me. There always will be, but I've got to move on. You can't, if you keep reworking your old work all the time, I don't want to do that. I keep reworking my old work and then nothing new gets done, you know? So
Party fish. Caught this on the floor.
there's a point where you just have to call it and move on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to where you are. Oh, what?
All right, we don't want this building to change, so let's take that out of the equation. I still need to clip my streams too. I try to clip my streams twice a week. And I did it once this week. I need to do it the second time.
Wow, this is insane.
I will admit I'm getting fatigued. I feel like I need another break soon. We've been working here for hour 47 minutes, and it ended up taking me a lot longer to color adjust all that stuff and do all the things I was doing there. So sometimes that happens, you know.
It's my third fish.
All right, so we're gonna go to this one, and we're gonna just delete that off. We're gonna go to this one, selection, inverse. Take that off. Now this one should be the characters. It is. So now we're back to where we were, and what I can do now is I can. This is 55%. Let's just knock this down more, like 20. And that basically just makes it so
The soul of night.
characters pop more, but the backgrounds still stay
Yeah, drop it, like, right near the-
painted all beautifully.
we could go. I've been doing this on here on this version of it. Let's take this plink, see what it looks like if we make it a nice
I don't have any more bait.
frothy white color.
Alright then.
Sometimes it kind of pops more against the background. Looks kind of cool. I'll leave it since that's what we've been doing. Save that up. This is page 30. We're going to select all 37 pages in the book. Copy merged. So we're getting close to having this thing ready to send to
Where's
the printer.
bait? I need
Just-
bait.
Takes so friggin' long.
This
Strength
doesn't-
Monsters and Ultra Mayhem. This book, I've completed it several years ago. I completed like 3 books all at once
What is
for the
it?
most part. It's pretty wild that I did
grenades.
that. Like 3 comic books at once.
Some chests.
I'm
Some chests.
I'm like,
13 chests.
what was I thinking, man?
Ash blocks.
I don't know.
2 different stepping stools.
But now I'm about to complete like 5 at once, but I'm not going to release them all
Demon
at
Egg.
once like I did this one. I'm going to space this out. Try to build an audience here, try to build some readership, you know? Came across these guys at Pasadena Comic Con. They were literally just giving their comic book away. And it was like a nice book. Like, they put some money into it, put some time into it. I'm like, why are you guys handing this away? They're like, well, we're hoping people will read it and then want to buy the next one. And I'm like, I think that business strategy is never going to work, man. Like, you've got to figure out a way to compel people to want to read your book enough, your first one, to pay for it. Like, the idea that you're going to hand enough of these out, or if you're going to hand something out like that, like, make it something like a zine, like something small and inexpensive, you know? Like, don't do that. And I would have bought their book from them, but I didn't have enough money. That show I made a profit, but it was a very thin profit, and I have to go home with those profits. I can't spend them. That's a rule, you know. That's a hard rule, and that's just ensuring that I can stay sustained as an artist, as a full-time artist. You cannot allow yourself to go do shows and then spend your profits on other people's stuff unless you have, you know, you have, maybe if you have income from something else, then, and it doesn't matter if you make any money at the shows that you sell your artwork at, then maybe it doesn't matter. But if, you know, you're actually sustain yourself with your art, then you can't just go around and spend all your profits back.
Great.
As fun as it would be, you know, and I don't mind doing it, like supporting other artists. And when I do have a very profitable show,
Why even?
all right, then I'll give myself a very meager, very small budget, but I'll go around and pick up a few independent comics and things that look kind of cool for 2 reasons. One, because it's stuff that I like, that I'm interested in. I'd be like, oh, it'd be cool to see this. And 2, to kind of give, you know, support the community, give back, you know, somebody else. I get to support somebody else's project, somebody else's book, somebody else's dream, be able to get a little bit of income from it. Maybe it'll just help them pay for that show that they're using to promote their work, or maybe it will help them do something else. The thing is like, it's like anything. It's like you got to rinse and repeat over and over again to really saturate the market, so that you and your work become recognizable to people, and eventually they'll buy it, or they will have bought it, and then they'll be you'll be on a radar, you know, and they'll even think of you when they're going to another show in the future. They'll be thinking of you and be like, oh, I wonder if that guy's going to be there, and if he is, I'm going to get this, or I'm going to do that, you know.
Oh,
And that experience has happened to me lots of times, but that's from
no, I don't have any.
just relentlessly hitting markets year over year over year, and like, you know, maybe 40 markets a
a month. I mean, not a month, a week. I mean, a year, not a week. 40 markets a week. How do you even do that? 40 markets a month, you'd have to do multiple a day. All right, this one is done. Let's save this under the right name. File, save as, full color copy, and this is going to be page 30. All right, we got 7 pages left to format. Why don't I just go through and do all 7 in one batch? Pretty much just so I don't lose my friggin' mind. That's why.
Here.
That's basically it, you know. I mean, some of this stuff will make you go crazy if you just do it all day.
Stop moving forward.
I don't mind working all day, but I got to switch up what I'm working on or I'm going to go crazy is what I mean. This is all supposed to be full bleed. I think we'll be able to get away with it. I hope I'll be able to get away with it. Let's select the characters and just kind of pop them a little bit harder.
A corruptor.
Against the background and everything. So we're going to do the dino. No. Okay, we got the dino. We can do the saucer. We can do the robot, or robot. I pronounce it all manner of ways and get corrected on my pronunciation no matter which way I pronounce it. So sometimes I say robot, sometimes I say robot.
I didn't pay attention.
I really don't friggin' care.
Okay.
And
No. Have you not? Really? Really? Yeah. I'm leaving, man.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Lock that one off. Selection, inverse. Oh, hold on a minute. And why? Ay, ay, ay. Why did somebody make that selectable? Somebody was probably me. Make sure. Go 34. That's good. Characters are popping. Things are looking cool. Let's select all copy. No, we have to copy this merged. Edit, copy merged. Drop it into the template. Let's save as page 31 so we don't accidentally override our correct page. 31, save. Still have to do the cover, the inside cover, the rear cover. So even once we've gotten through all 37 pages, we still have a ton to go. It's just what it takes, though, to get a comic book made, man. It's not all roses and sunshine and you know, sweet smelling perfumes or whatever the saying goes. It's just pure grit, man. Just pure just force of will. Pretty much what it is. It's just grabbing your loins and just going. I think that is gonna work right there just fine. So we're gonna go full bleed on this page and it'll look pretty cool. Let's might as well fill the black in all the way in case it doesn't you know, make it what is going on here? Why is that doing weird stuff? What is going on? The heck? What is the deal? Okay, let's put a new layer down, maybe. No, something weird is going on with this. What? How do I get rid of these guides or something, man? View. Right, it was like snapping things to guide or something. Some nonsense. Some nonsense I didn't want to be happening. This is a part of the image that will probably nobody will even see. But I'm like, it's bothering me. I gotta get rid of that. I don't know who else actually. Does anybody else out there actually get mad at your drawings? Like get mad at your artwork? You're like, wow, this is pissing me off. Like you're actually mad, like as if the thing you're painting has its own consciousness, and it's like purposely trying to anger you. I mean, that happens to me. It's weird. It's a weird phenomenon where I'll actually project. Like I'll do it especially with computers and stuff. Like I'll be like, this thing. Like it's actually like it has some kind of mind of its own and it's actually wants to defy me or something, like not work to make me angry, when the reality is it's like it's a machine. It doesn't know anything. It just has inputs and outputs. But like this thing, you what I called my computer the other day? I was like, you numbskull. I called my computer a numbskull. I'm like, you numbskull. All right, we're stopping there. Maybe we're not stopping there. I lied. I'm still not satisfied with this. All right, stop. That's it.
we're done for the day. I'm ending the stream. I'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. It'll be stream number 60. I'll see y'all then.